The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
It's Wednesday. Good morning. Good morning to you. I'm here. Yeah. I'm a little late today. I needed a little extra sleep. About 20 minutes. My power kept going out last night. All right. And, how about you? But I sleep with a fan on. Not just for noise, but I like it to be really cold so I can, my wife's a little bit, a little older, so she's a little hotter at night. And, power kept going out last night. So I'd go out, I'd open the window because it was kind of chilly out, so we'd get something. But then you'd just be about to fall asleep. The power would come on, and you could feel it, man. All of a sudden, the fan's like, whoa. A cat jumping all over it. Yeah. So I slept in for 20 more minutes. So I'm a little late. There it is. Isn't it nice to not have to make excuses for stuff? Oh, I'm late because we rarely want to tell the truth. So, make up some reason why I was a little late this morning. But the truth is I just slept in. Who fucking cares, man? This need to lie to look good. Vigilance. We're going to talk about vigilance today. But before we do that, you know what we're going to do next, right? Yeah, it's Dion's Daily Dose of Funnies. Here we go. Best jokes about animals is what we're doing today. If I can get these ads out of the way. All right. What's a dog's favorite superhero? Labrathor. Labrathor. I think they're reaching on that one. I was walking down the beach when I heard a swimmer yell for help with a shark circling him. I just laughed. I knew that shark wasn't going to help him. That was good. That one I appreciated. Yeah. That we talk about, that shark ain't going to be able to help him. What do you call a rabbit with fleas? Bugs Bunny. Let's do two more. One of these I already knew, which it's my series of cow jokes. I'm not going to. Underdog. That would be another superhero dog, huh? Good catch, Michelle. I'd rather use Underdog than Labrathor. It's just a lot of people wouldn't get that joke now because people don't know who Underdog is. Because Underdog popped pills for power, and so they took it off the air. Yeah, a lot of drug use in our cartoons growing up. A lot. Most of our superheroes got their stuff from like spinach, pills, booze, all sorts of stuff. All right. What do you say when a chicken is looking at a salad? Chicken sees a salad. Like chicken Caesar salad. All right, one more. I like this one. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. I have more cow jokes, but not for here. I will tell them to you personally, but my other cow jokes, no, not here. You know, there's no this no this channel is not for children, but that doesn't mean we're gonna get disgusting either. So, all right, we're done with that. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host today and for the foreseeable future. We are going to be in the big book on page 33 today. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I got a lot of rewatchers. Gotta have rewatchers, right? Some cool things coming up. The website is coming along slowly. I'll be talking to Angel next week. We're going to start adding groups, things like that. So, yeah, I've really been focused on what needs to get done lately. I'm proud of myself, man. I've gotten a lot of work done in the last week. I'm feeling accomplished. Staying the course. I'm staying in my lane. I'm not worrying about what other people are fucking doing. So it's been much better. And my therapist agrees. She was very, very surprised that I went to the recovery rally. Really surprised. We've got to challenge ourselves. Amber says maybe Kira will take over as host someday. Amber, you are not far off. Actually, need a little time under the belt. Kira and I are getting back to the to our series, so I actually will be doing some podcasts with my daughter here shortly, but I need to give her a chance to get through her stuff first. We're thinking once a month. She has a lot going on. She just got her esthetician's license, kids are in school, things like that, you know. But it will happen. Yeah. You're gonna see a lot of changes. But the hard part is this is I have like 3 or 4 different series. So it's starting to get confusing for people. And then to be able to put it on the website. Okay. Now I'm feeling a little overwhelming. Let's get to it. Let's do it. To welcome. Talk about today is vigilance. It's what we're going for. So it'll be the part in the big book where it says, we have seen the truth demonstrated again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. It's a hard one. Yeah. Yeah. Alcoholism is not cured. Definitely not cured. But we do have a solution. And I'm going to tell you, think about it. Think about it for a little bit. If you've been in the program for a little bit at least and things are working out for you, would you really want a cure? Would you want one? If a cure came out tomorrow and suddenly you could drink like a normal person, would you want it? It's not going to change your thinking process, but it'll change that. Would you do it? No more AA, no more friends, no more daily trudge, no more fellowship. Do you want it? Think hard on that one. I wouldn't want it. I don't need it. I have a solution. The solution I have works. I don't want or need a cure. I don't need it. My life's great right now. Thank you, AA. Thank you, Higher Power. Thank you, Daily Trudge. Thank you, Raw Recovery. Thank you, AA meetings. Thank you, Big Book. Thank you, everybody that came before me. Thank you for giving me this life. I'm extremely grateful for the people that came before me, whether I agree with them or not. Angel says, I think a solution is better than a cure. Huh? See, if we had a cure, we wouldn't even know each other. If there was a cure, we would not know each other. We would not understand brotherhood, camaraderie, love, true love, what love actually is. We wouldn't see the cure won't do that. what'll happen is if you drink more than one, you'll get violently ill. Welcome to the cure. Yeah, that would be the cure, probably. All right. Angel also says, out of people, places, and things, I'm most vigilant about people, and you know why. Yeah, I am too. Michelle says, well, when you put it that way, no, I wouldn't want it. See? Right? So why even bother working on it? Because the solution is better than the cure. All right, let's get to this. Let's do it. I'm going to start on the bottom or the top of page 32. We're going to have Michelle said, oh, but there is one good thing. She said, besides, I would save a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you do now. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, because if there was a cure, you wouldn't be saving that money, huh? See? Look, already our thought process. Oh, if I was cured of alcoholism, you want to know the first thing I do? I go get drunk. See? It already doesn't work. It's just going to go around like that. All right. So I'm going to start at the top of page 32 today because there's a story in here that I like to cover, and it's been a minute since I covered it. So, though there is no way of proving it, we believe that early in our drinking careers, most of us could have stopped drinking. But the difficulty is that few alcoholics have enough desire to stop while there is still yet time. We have heard of a few instances where people who showed definite signs of alcoholism were able to stop for a long period because of an overpowering desire to do so. Here is one. All right. The first time I got sober, and wanted to, because the first time I got sober was treatment. And I don't want to. Okay, so we're going to go with the first time that I want to. I was 18 years old. I'm living on Skid Row because of my drinking. Because everybody in my life really, really enjoyed tough love. Okay, but I get it. So, all right. Well, what was the problem? Well, I was living on Skid Row. That was talk about stigma. Oh, man, I found it. I mean, I had no more excuses left at 18 years old, man. All right. And I got sober. Okay. But here's the thing that we could have stopped drinking. It was not that hard. I'm going to tell you something. It was actually a cinch. It was easy at 18. It was. No hangover. Just changed a few things. Now I got 12 years of sobriety. Right? And then I went out for 15. I would try this time in my mind. And even though I knew better, even though I fucking knew better, 2 years to get off the hooch. That is the difference. So if you're listening to this and you're younger, it's on you, man. It's on you, my brother or sister. Okay? And you young people, ignore the people that run around and say things like, oh, I wish I would have gotten sober at your age. Sober. Shut the fuck up. Don't talk to them like that. It's rude. Okay? Go handle your own stuff. Don't put your pity and your guilt on them. I got sober again at 45. I get what you're saying. I feel like I lost a lot of part of my life, but that doesn't mean it's for me to put it on people that are young in the program. Okay? Don't say that crap. All right. Though there is no way of proving it, we already did that one. So, a man of 30 was doing a great deal of spree drinking. He was very nervous in the morning after these bouts and quieted himself with more liquor. So, see, he's already shaking in the morning. He's already shaking in the morning. This is 30. All right. He was ambitious to succeed in business and saw that he would get nowhere if he drank at all. Once he started, he had no control whatsoever. He made up his mind that until he had been successful in business and had retired, he would not touch another drop. Now, I do kind of wonder what kind of person he was. I do. Was he mean? Was he kind of a jerk? Was he a jackass? Or was he kind to his employees? Was he a good guy to people while not drinking and stuff? I'm kind of curious. They don't describe that part, but I would probably guess dry drunk. That would be my guess. And it'd be an educated guess. That doesn't make it right, but that's what I would guess. Yeah. An exceptional man, more exceptional than me, I can tell you that. He remained bone dry. There's our answer. Bone dry, dry drunk. All right. For 25 years and retired at the age of 55 after a successful and happy business career. I also don't hear the mention of a wife or kids in this. Right. So he quit drinking for 25 years. Great job, by the way. Wow. Good job. I don't think he was looking for accolades, though. Right? That's what he was going for. Right? So but I understand this, don't you? Why? I completed the goal. Why can't I have a drink? We understand this, don't we? But something else is going on here, and I'll explain it here in a minute. Okay? Alcoholism is a progressive disease. Keep that in mind while we read the rest of this. Okay. Then he fell victim to belief, which practically every alcoholic has, that his long period of sobriety and self-discipline had qualified him to drink as other men. It makes sense. It makes sense, but not in the life of an alcoholic. In the life of an alcoholic, it seems like that's what you should do, but we alcoholics always have the cart before the horse. Always. That's why we need accountability. I'm big on accountability. I do it. I make sure I'm always accountable, man. Okay? Because I don't like hurting people and I don't like having to make amends because that means I hurt someone. And I don't want to do that. Does it still happen? Yes. But when I make a plan to go do something and my intentions are that way, it's a little different. Anyway, so out came his carpet slippers and a bottle in 2 months. 2 months. Progression. Remember progression. He was in the hospital, puzzled and humiliated. Smith was an exceptional man in every part of his life except alcohol. And this one thing took the whole thing down. Yeah. He tried to regulate his drinking for a while, making several trips to the hospital in the meantime. Then, gathering all those forces, he attempted to stop altogether and found he could not. Every means of solving his problems which money could buy was at his disposal. Every attempt failed. Though a robust man at retirement, he went to pieces quickly and was dead within 4 years. Yeah, dead. He had 4 years of drinking. Actually, he had a little bit more than that. Now, let's talk about this a little bit before we move on. Okay, number one. Right. How about you ladies? We got 4 ladies here. You all drank men under the table, didn't you? Yeah. And all of you are a little bit smaller too. These are petite women drinking 200-pound men under the table, even 300-pound men. Right? See, we alcoholics are born with a high tolerance to alcohol. The first time I drank with other people, the other kids had about half a beer. They were like, I was on my 3rd beer before anything like that started happening. 1 beer doesn't affect me. It gives me that little, right? I used to say only a 6-pack will quench my thirst, and that's just to get us started. Right? You know what I'm talking about. Now, here's the problem with alcohol. Not the problem, but here's the part about alcoholism. If you quit drinking, boom, okay, and you do nothing about it, your alcoholism will progress. Remember, it's not the alcohol. Okay, what did he fail to do here? His isms, the I, the self, the me, the spirituality, the companionship, the fellowship, everything that we've been talking about. And for Christ's sake, where's God? Did he turn to God once at all? Did he try? I doubt it. Because he had lived a life of self reliance. He didn't ask people for help. He had all the like, well, I have all this money. I'll just get it. No, see, this is where people think that because they have money that it's going to be easier for them to get sober. No, it's actually going to make it harder for you because you're going to try all these other things before you try God, and you're probably going to die first. People that are highly intelligent with a lot of money tend not to make it here. They don't, because they think that they are special. They think they are even different from you. Well, I'm a functioning alcoholic. Why do you think that? Because I got millions of dollars in the bank. Yeah, that doesn't mean you're a functioning alcoholic. That means that you're a rich alcoholic. That's what that means. But you're still an alcoholic. You're no longer more, right? So what happened to this guy? Why 4 years? Because his alcoholism had progressed. What is it? Anger, fear. He lived a life of anger and fear, and it tore his innards up, man. It affects your heart. It affects your liver. It affects all those things. And since we alcoholics are extremists, he was destroying himself in the process and unable to have a drink. No wonder he was miserable. That's why it happens so fast. Your alcoholism is progressing when you do not do anything about it. So you are doing something about it. So you're stunting it from doing that now. Bang. All right. So now you're stunting that because you're not walking around in anger and resentment and fear and hate. Those are the things that fucking kill you. Those are the things that kill. And it did it to this guy. All right. We understand that a little bit better? All right. This Kate. All right. This case contains a powerful lesson. Most of us have believed that if we remain sober for a long stretch, we could thereafter drink normally. Now, I had 12 years, right? And I went out. I have no idea why. Well, I stopped going to meetings, things like that. But I didn't have any real fucking reason to drink. I think it was just the pressure. I think I was under too much pressure. I was remarried. It wasn't going very well. I was on vacation with the in-laws. They were all fighting. I just couldn't take it anymore. And see, since I didn't have God in my life, since I didn't have AA in my life, since I wasn't following the principles, gosh, it was easy to give in. And it would take 15 years before I came back. But I would use excuses like, well, who isn't an alcoholic at 18? You know, right? But here is a man who at 35 years found he was just where he had left off at 30. Your tolerance for alcohol does not go down. So let's say, unless there's one point, and I'll get to that. Okay. So if you're let's just say 100%, we'll give it a number, right? So if you're at 70%, you will always be there. It'll never go lower than that, ever. Except in one case, liver failure. That is an indicator to liver failure. In the end, it took me a little bit, it took less for me to get drunk. The last time I drank, I had a 6-pack and I detoxed for like 2.5 weeks. Yeah. Very dangerous. Okay. So these are some of our indicators: jaundice, eyes turning yellow, fingernails turning yellow. Right? There are signs. I saw the sign and it opened up my mind. I saw the sign. We have seen the truth demonstrated again and again. Once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Commencing to drink after a period of sobriety, we are in short time as bad as ever. If we are planning to stop drinking, there must be no reservation of any kind, no lurking notion that someday we will be immune to alcohol. I am not. Am I immune to alcohol? Yes, because I don't drink it. So I'm immune to it. But only on that sense. I drank. I'm certainly not immune. No. And I'm at a point, at least today, right now, I don't want to drink. I don't. I have much better things to do. Okay? Which would include cleaning a cat. I would rather clean the cat box than have a drink. I'll put it that way. Yeah. Because the consequences of the cat box are better because then it'll smell better. So at least there's good consequences to that. All right. It's a change of mind, and it's the consequences. Alcoholics do not get sober until they can no longer handle the consequences. And we are very resilient people. We're very resilient. That's part of the alcoholic trait. We can take a lot of physical abuse, right? Young people may be encouraged by this man's experience to think that they can stop as he did on their own willpower. It ain't gonna work. It might, but I've never seen it. I've never met somebody that has done that. We doubt if many of them can do it because none will really want to stop, and hardly one of them actually, that's not true. Amber, you stayed sober on your own for like 3 years. Yeah. And she talked about how she was miserable. Was it 2 or 3? I might be wrong on the amount of time. So I do know some people that have done it. It's just I think of myself, and I can't go 20 minutes. If I would promise you that I was quitting drinking while tying my shoes going to the liquor store. And I didn't even know I was doing it. And I met the promise too. It was the weirdest thing. Anyway. So we doubt many of them really want to do it because none of them want to stop. And hardly one of them, because of the peculiar mental twist already acquired, will find he can win out. Several of our crowd men of 30 or less had been drinking only a few years, but found themselves as helpless of those who have been drinking 20 years, right? So, well, about that time when I was 18 and living on Skid Row, there it is. To be gravely affected, one does not necessarily have to drink a long time, nor take the quantities some of us have. Yeah. Some of these the consequences for the women happen a lot faster than they do for the men. The physical consequences of drinking are harder on women than they are on men. That's why women tend to get into the program a little bit younger, right? Because those consequences really start to pile up quick. Considering everything, I did not have a very long drinking career either. It took me pretty quick too. This is particularly true of women. Potential female alcoholics often turn into the real thing and are gone beyond recall in a few years. Certain drinkers who would be greatly insulted if called alcoholics are astonished at their inability to stop. We who are familiar with these symptoms see large numbers of potential alcoholics among young people everywhere, but try and get them to see it. I don't know. There's a sweep going on right now. I'm seeing statistics. This newer generation, or what are they, Gen Z? I can't keep track of them all anymore. I don't even know what they are, and I don't fucking care. But apparently, they are drinking less. People are drinking less right now. So they are starting to figure it out. So good job, right? Because these kids are like, of course, they also doing this. I don't want to be like my parents. Since a lot of us drink, they're like, I'm not going to drink because I don't want to be like my parents. But that's a good enough excuse for me. If you want to quit drinking out of spite, go for it. I'll even back you. What is your driver's license number? All right, so let's get to this. So vigilance, what does it mean? Let's go look up the definition of vigilance. I'm pretty sure I know definition of vigilance, but often I say that and then I look at it and it turns into a different meaning for me. So I don't assume that I know anymore. I look up the word. And I guarantee you in 365 days, I'll probably look up this word again. 364 days, because that would be a year from now. All right. So now in the action of keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. Not quite what I was thinking. Vigilance, I was thinking more of I'm doing, I can do this and things like that. But it's keeping a special watch. So, yeah, that helps. Let's reread that. The action or state of keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. What are those? Those are triggers. Those are the things that we should not be doing. All right. In the beginning, you'll have to take special vigilance on everything that you do. Okay. Nowadays, my vigilance has more to do with, okay, if I take this action, who's it going to hurt? That is another vigilance that we do. We're thinking of others and how what we might do, how it might affect them. And that's a certain type of vigilance. Even, we keep vigilance for each other too. We kind of keep an eye out, things like that. So today, I am an alcoholic. Tomorrow will be no different. Okay. My alcoholism lives within me now and forever. I must never forget what I am. Oh, hold on there. But you can be different. You can be better. I'm not going to. So you want to know how I do the not forget? Go to meetings. You won't forget that you're an alcoholic. Okay. All right. Alcohol will surely kill me if I fail to recognize and acknowledge my disease on a daily basis. I'm not playing a game in which a loss is a temporary setback. I'm dealing with my disease for which there is no cure, only daily acceptance and diligence. I like the way that ended because it says there is no cure, only daily acceptance and diligence. Only daily acceptance and vigilance. That doesn't feel very hopeful, my friends. No, there's more to it. And dare I say it, my life's easier and softer today. This was the easier, softer way. Didn't look like it. Didn't feel like it along the way. But my life is easier today. And it is softer. Today, right now. That might change next week. But today I get to. So there's more. There's more. Not just only acceptance and vigilance. Come on. Let's go a little bit more than that. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And have a